While the transfer portal is closed, the players who entered before the deadline can still be recruited, and with SC still having multiple holes on the roster, we have been very active over the last week. So in today's video, we'll go over all the links and visits that have taken place, and I'll give you my thoughts on those players as well. But before we do that, just a quick channel update. As many of you know, I am in the process of moving back to the West Coast, and things are really starting to ramp up with that, so the upload frequency will be affected over the next month or so. I, of course, will have you guys covered on all breaking news, but any other sort of video will be far less frequent. The dead period is coming up, so the timing of this works out pretty well, but just wanted to let you all know what to expect. And guys, if you could subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get into this. Alright, so first up, USC did get a visit from former Texas A&M center Bryce Foster. Now, there's lots of angles to this. Is this a depth piece? Is this a starter that makes Jonah Monheim bump over to right guard? Talking about Bryce, though, he was a 3-year starter at A&M. It was a 3 years filled with a lot of ups and downs. He was solid as a freshman in 2021. He started the first 4 games of 2022, and then he suffered a knee injury that kept him out the rest of that year. Although in those 4 games he played, it was a disastrous run for him, earning only a 22 pass blocking grade on the year per PFF, which is panic worthy, nightmare worthy, any bad adjective you can think of, I'm sure it would fit. So then he rehabbed from that injury, and then he had a very mediocre 2023 season. He does shot put in the offseason, and many people around the Aggies program suspect that may have had a negative effect on Bryce's body this last year. Either way, this isn't really a proven player any way you look at it. Center is a very important position, so it does make you nervous if this is the guy that we land in the portal and roll with him as a starter during the year. But at the bare minimum, it's a depth piece with a guy that has 2.25 years of SEC experience, which is a massive plus. Next up, SC also got a visit from former Liberty tackle Chase Mitchell. Now, this is an odd one. He's 6'4", 320 pounds, but this isn't a player that's shown much of anything up to this point. This would be 100% a depth piece. He started every game for the Flames this year, although he had dreadful outings against Bowling Green, New Mexico State, Sam Houston State, Jacksonville State, Middle Tennessee State, and Western Kentucky. Now, he did get better as the year went on, but he was a major liability in pass pro in those games, which is obviously very worrisome. When I watched him play, he plays very high. He doesn't have the strongest first punch in the world. He's not the most fluid of athletes, although he is a hard worker and he can do a job for you in the run game, but the pass sets were definitely rough. So we'll see if we can land this one, which again would just be a depth piece along the offensive line. Next up, we have a defensive lineman to talk about, and former Grand Valley State defensive tackle JVR Suggs. So SC has shifted the interior lineman search from power conference players to the FCS level, which is just the situation we're in. When you wait this long to land somebody, you're going to have to drop down to that level. But what I will say is that in JVR's case, this is a highly coveted player offered by SC, Michigan, Florida State, and others. Now, it's not going to be easy for SC to land this one. He did leave his visit without committing, and something a lot of SC fans noticed on Twitter is that no emojis came from the staff after the big visitor weekend, which isn't a great sign, of course. But getting back to the player here, I do think he would get on the field for USC. He is listed at only 282 on the GVSU website, so this isn't that big nose tackle fix we've been looking for, but an athletic big guy that could spell Bear Alexander and come on the field on passing downs. Now, reportedly on campus today is former Stephen F. Austin defensive tackle Brandon Lane. He's 6'4", 300 pounds, and he is a run defense specialist. Not going to give you much of anything as a pass rusher, but he's going to clog up those run lanes, which is precisely what SC needs. So let's hope the visit goes well today, because we need a body like this in the defensive tackle room. And lastly, we have to talk about former Tennessee Volunteer and Louisville Cardinal commit Tyler Barrett. This is a 260-pound edge rusher that can give you a bit of everything. I'm a huge fan of this player. Explosive athlete, great nose for the ball, good tackler, a lot of production, just an overall defensive playmaker that can play it, and he can kick inside to create a NASCAR pass rushing package. Would love to add this guy. He will be visiting on the 10th of this month, so obviously this would be a big time get for us along the defensive line. Definitely the highest quality player on this list, and it's not relatively close. Now, in terms of all the links and reports, that is all I've seen. There is some rumor and speculation, but at this point, that's all it is, rumor and speculation. So not going to talk about that here. But guys, I would love to hear from you. What do you think about any of the players mentioned in this video? Please let me know down below. And that will do it for me. If you did happen to enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for all your continued support. You're all awesome, and as always, take care and fight on.